And I can't forget the time I tried to fix a small leak under the sink by myself, without calling a professional, because I thought it would be easy and would save money. I bought electrical tape and went wrapping the pipe thinking that would solve it. The leak not only didn't stop but got drastically worse. The tape created pressure that burst another pipe. Water started gushing uncontrollably, flooded my kitchen, and leaked to the apartment below. The downstairs neighbor had her living room ceiling destroyed by the water. I had to pay for the repair of her apartment and mine. I literally spent 10 times more than it would have cost to call a plumber from the beginning. The insurance company refused to cover it because they classified it as extreme negligence and reckless repair attempt by layperson. Another classic case was when I discovered that furniture needs to be assembled correctly following instructions and not just piled up any which way. I bought a 6-shelf bookshelf, completely ignored the instruction manual because I thought it was obvious how to assemble it, put the pieces together using pure intuition and some random screws I found at home. The bookshelf stood for exactly 3 days until it collapsed in the middle of the night with a crash that woke up the entire building, destroyed half my books, broke a vase that was a family heirloom, and created a crater in the laminate flooring. When I went to buy another bookshelf, the salesman recognized me and offered to do the assembly for free, saying verbatim, "For the sake of public safety." There was still that situation where I didn't know that washing machine filters need to be cleaned periodically. I used the machine for months without ever checking anything until it stopped working completely. I called a technician thinking it was a motor problem. When he opened the filter, about 10 liters of rotten water came out with a smell so strong we had to open all the windows. There had accumulated in there a mixture of coins, buttons, pieces of paper, and an unidentified viscous substance that the technician said he had never seen in 20 years of profession. He took photos to show his colleagues as an example of absolute zero maintenance. And there rests that memorable episode where I tried to save money by not turning on the heater in winter, thinking I would get used to the cold using just blankets. The temperature inside the apartment got so low it created condensation on the walls. Mold started appearing on literally every available surface. The walls turned black with fungus. My clothes in the closet developed mildew. My shoes developed a green crust. I had to hire a company specialized in mold removal that charged a fortune and said it was one of the most severe cases they had seen in a residential environment. They recommended I paint all the walls with anti-mold paint and buy an industrial dehumidifier. There was also when I discovered that appliances cannot be plugged in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Without pause, I left everything on all the time because turning things off and on again seemed too troublesome. Television, computer, air conditioning, everything stayed on continuously until it started short-circuiting frequently. One day, all the circuit breakers burned out at the same time. The apartment lost power. And when the electrician came, he said the wiring had chronic overload and needed to replace the entire electrical system. That month's electricity bill was higher than my rent. When I showed it to my father, he sat down with me and made a PowerPoint presentation about conscious energy consumption as if I were a 5-year-old child. And I don't forget that time I thought I could wash anything in the dishwasher, including pans with burnt food stuck on. I put pans so dirty the machine got completely clogged, started leaking soapy water outside, flooded the entire kitchen with soapy water. I tried to fix it by opening the machine in the middle of the cycle, which is exactly what you should never do. The pressure made water shoot out in all directions like it was a fountain, destroyed the kitchen floor, which was wood, and started warping with the water. I had to replace the entire kitchen floor and buy a new dishwasher because the old one was completely destroyed. Another gem was when I tried to do heavy cleaning for the first time in 6 months and mixed all the cleaning products I had under the sink, thinking that creating a super cleaner would be more efficient. Bleach, detergent, disinfectant, alcohol, ammonia, everything in a large basin. I accidentally created a toxic chemical mixture that started releasing gases. I felt sick, had dizziness and nausea, had to call emergency services. The paramedics who came said I had basically created homemade mustard gas. I was lucky not to have had a more serious reaction. They gave me a pamphlet about domestic chemical safety and strongly recommended I never mix cleaning products again. Look, the list is infinite and increasingly embarrassing. Every attempt to be an independent adult results in another chapter of my unpublished book. How Not to Live Alone. A practical guide to everything that can go wrong. Every time I think I've finally learned the basic lessons of domestic life, I discover a new creative way to fail spectacularly. It's like I'm playing a video game on hardcore mode where all simple tasks turn into impossible boss fights. But here's the important thing I need to admit: the problem isn't just that I don't know how to do things, the problem is that I genuinely don't read. Instructions: don't research before doing, don't ask for help when I should, and have completely unjustified confidence in my ability to figure everything out on my own by trial and error. Every disaster could have been avoided if I had simply stopped for 5 minutes to Google it or call my mom asking how to do it. But no, I had to be stubborn and learn everything the hardest and most expensive way possible. If you're thinking about living alone and identified with anything I said, please learn from my mistakes and don't repeat any of these things. Read the manuals, watch YouTube tutorials, ask your parents how to do basic tasks, hire professionals when necessary. Don't be too proud to ask for help. And if you already live alone and can maintain a functional apartment without creating weekly disasters, congratulations, you are real adults, and I envy your basic competence. Leave in the comments your own stories of domestic disasters because I need to know. I'm not the only human being completely inept at independent life. And if anyone has practical survival tips for incompetent adults like me, please share because I clearly need all the help possible. Thank you for watching this public confession of my inability to perform tasks that 10-year-old children can do. See you in the next video where I'll probably admit I set fire to something else. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to continue following my descent into absolute domestic chaos.